it's really, I think it's really funny listening to Genasee tell the story of us, like how we met and how we got together, how we started dating, because it is like hot and cold, black and white, in like the way that we tell the story.
I had a mutual friend in high school. I went to high school with him. Cole played football with him at the UW, and they were roommates. And he introduced us. That is the short story. You ask Cole, that will be like an hour and a half long story. Is how long it took him the last time he told that story.
Like I see all these like extravagant details about it and the way that it played out, and she can tell it in 2 minutes. I'm like, how do you do that? I don't even know, but my roommate actually went to school with Genasee in high school, and he knew this about me. He knew that I was just a hopeless romantic, a sappy individual. And he eventually, after, I kind of had some ups and downs in relationships early in college, he was like, okay, look, you got to meet this girl, Genasee. She's perfect for you. She's a goody-goody. You're a goody-goody. You guys can be goody-goodies together. It'll be perfect. I came over to Spokane. I was going to school in Seattle. I drove across the state over to Spokane to visit my roommate, and Genasee happened to be home from school for the summer. So my roommate took that as like perfect. Like, we're gonna spend the whole weekend hanging out, and I'm gonna invite her everywhere, and they're gonna get together, and it's gonna be wonderful, and sparks are gonna fly. And I was like, David, please don't do that. He, of course, he'd already invited her to come hang out. So it was kind of a moot point. Like, I can't tell you how many things we did that weekend. Like, I spent 3 days here, and it feels like I spent a month. Like, it was amazing how many things we packed in just a few days. So we get back from grabbing food, and we're hanging out, and Genasee and I decided to go out and throw the football. And so we're starting to like throw the ball back and forth, and we're probably 10 yards away, and I'm just kind of tossing it and catching it, tossing it, catching it. And I'm starting to pick up on her footwork and her movement patterns. I'm like, so I started like backing up and throwing a little farther and a little faster. And all of a sudden, like, I'm like full blown, like 30 yards, 40 yards away, hucking this thing at this girl, and she's just catching them left and right. And I was like, wow, you catch and throw better than most of my guy friends. This is incredible. Like, all of a sudden, just like hearts are just floating around my head, It's like...
You were a hard one to gauge right off the bat.
Playing hard to get.
The way that you threw the ball and how good you were at playing catch was like oh my gosh, like, I need this girl in my life. But it was really like realizing, like, at that moment, you were kind of able to open up. We got away from like David, and it was just you and me. And like, that's really kind of when I felt like we connected the most.
Later that evening, I was driving back to the other side of the state. It's about a 4-hour drive across the state, and I was taking off late at night, so I was kind of going to drive through the night. And when I went to leave, there was just like this like unsettling feeling in my heart of like, you can't leave here and not be in a relationship with this girl. And so that was kind of like when I approached her, what I think in a very manly way, but in reality, it was very like I just kind of stumbled over my words, and I was super nervous and sweating all over the place. But just kind of like muttered out like, do you want to have a relationship? And
You remember that one time I cooked? What did I cook in the oven? Was it like a turkey sausage? I put on like a little skewer.
No, he opened the oven. I should find that picture. I walk around the corner. The oven is open, and he has a stick with like a hot dog, and he's just like sitting here roasting his hot dog with the oven on high.
It worked, I think.
I also walked in one day, and it's a small apartment, mind you. And it was like this, I opened the door and it was this burst of heat right in the face. Cole went on a run outside or something and his shoes got wet and he wanted them to dry. So he put them over a heater vent, turned the heat up as high as it would go, and left the apartment for hours until I got home. It was like 90 degrees in there. But his shoes were dry.
You were not the happiest camper.
No.
You were not. Mm-mm.
You know, if I wasn't doing CrossFit, I'm pretty sure I would be the next top chef. You know, I have this innate skill that just kind of came naturally just to make phenomenal food.
Cooking everything on high and putting salt on everything. Did not mean that.
My secret would be more butter and more salt. And it would taste delicious.
This one, I want that way a little bit.
You would think that I could hold these boards up here for longer because I work out so much.
So I'm saying, so
My
see
forearm's
how
on fire.
That's like. There is no Cole, the handyman. He tries.
Oh, right in a knot. Dang it. But we need to find out where nails are in the trim, because that's where the studs are.
You think we need to put this in a stud, Cole?
No. Everything needs to be in a stud. I'm a natural stud finder.
So every male ever has made that joke. He does put out a pretty good effort, but I mean, neither of us have much handy skills. What's the next one? We do our best, like Googling stuff, looking things up on YouTube, but at the end of the day, it usually just resorts to us, like calling my dad. Just seems reasonable to me, but I also don't know what I'm doing, so.
Dude, neither of us know what we're doing.
We do things the hard way. Everything takes way longer than it should. Like we finish it. We don't leave things undone. But like that wall was painted like 6 times. For some reason, house projects, we fail like 10 times before we finally settle like, okay, I guess we can live with this because we're tired of trying so much. Anywhere close to being straight.
Oh, it's perfect. Check you out. Yeah.
Cole, why did you choose this one?
Don't even. Don't leave that.
It's a senior portrait.
That is not cool. That is not cool of you at all. Why would you hang that there?
Center.
That is not okay.
We can work with it, figure out
Yeah.
how we want it to go.
I like it.
Cool.
Good.
Favorite way to spend time together?
I honestly think that it is. You're really excited about your answer, so we'll go with yours. Did my stomach growl? Oh.
No, what are you gonna say?
Oh, I honestly think that one of our favorite ways to spend time together is moments like this, sitting and talking.
Yeah. Well, talking in any sense, whether it be here by the fire, going on a walk, even just driving.
Yeah. How many times have we driven across the state, didn't play a lick of music, just talked the whole time? Yeah.
And we do almost everything together. We function very well alone. We're both very independent by ourselves and can function just fine on our own, but we are 10 times stronger together, and we much prefer to be together, and we do as much together as we can because we're just stronger, better, happier people.
You know what we have not had in a while? In a long time? It's a cinnamon roll. I love how serious of a thing that became, us and cinnamon rolls.